All right, today we have the fabulous and legendary Lady Bunny. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Great to speak with you. I'm so relaxed at home. I never do drag at home, but uh, no pantyhose, no panty.
So it's something new for you. Yes, yes. All,
Anyway,
all right. Well, we are talking about your Don't Bring the Kids production at the Green Room 42 in NYC. What can audiences expect?
well, audience can expect lots of foul mouth humor, and I'm doing the show. I mean, all of my shows have foul mouth humor in it, song parodies, one-liners, all that kind of good, stuff. Maybe a few attempts to dance. But I
Attempt.
did. Well, I broke my foot. This show was supposed to start in April. And
Mhm.
so was working on my medley of At the Hop. Decided to wait, but I will be doing May's performances in a boot as
Okay.
prescribed by my doctor. I do not have matching ones. So
Put
that
a little extra for you.
Yes, I mean, and the reason that I'm calling the show Don't Bring the Kids is obviously there's a huge debate right now about drag queens around kids because Republicans are making a stink about it. And outlook from most people, either on the left or the right,
Mhm.
because first of all, I'm an independent voter. 40% of Americans are independent or swing
Yep.
voters, 29% registered Democrats, and about the same Republicans. So I'm not necessarily looking to choose sides in this, but I know that from my own experience, my act is dirty.
Mhm.
So when I do a show like Don't Bring the Kids, if I'm producing the show that says this is not appropriate for kids. And you see, usually I've been saved by the fact that I performed in nightclubs. So if you're under 21 or in some cases 18, you literally cannot go to see my show.
Yeah.
And of course, there are drag queens who I say more power to you. My friend Harmonica Sunbeam reads drag queen story hours in the tri-state area, Nina Westwood. If that's what you want to do, stuff that I always do, but I also kind of go into the weeds and look at some of the reasons that we're having this dialogue. I think one big reason is that Republicans do not like gay rights in general.
Mhm.
And so they're trying, the world did not fall apart when we got gay marriage or gays in the military. Some of the religious right were saying that it might. And also, we didn't even Republicans joined the Democrats in the last session of Congress to vote for some sort of protections against the Roe v. Wade decision that overturned abortion rights,
Mhm.
would protect gay marriages in some states. So it's like I don't think that even mainstream Republicans are going that hard on gay rights. I think instead they've picked drag queens and trans people, and
Mhm.
they're putting all of this bullshit out there, and a lot of it is based on lies. So I'm going to go through some of that in the show. Doesn't it sound fun? No. I'm going to go through some of that, but I do think that one thing that is happening here overall is that drag has become much much bigger.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so there were no like I say, you saw drag mainly in clubs, but
Mhm.
with the popularity of Drag Race and of drag brunches, we're seeing these tours of things that admit children,
Yeah.
and the drag queens aren't always doing stuff that's PG. So I saw a country queen who is a former Miss Continental post this the other day. If you don't want to be called adult entertainment, why are you taking pictures at brunch with 5-year-olds in pasties and G-strings?
Yep.
Because you may not want to be considered adult entertainment, but that's what entertainment is.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I mean, like, I police myself. I was encouraged to be outrageous and do crazy things. I don't wear pasties and G-strings. That would be woo, lock the door. Bunny's going to strip. We'll charge to get out and we'll make a fortune. That would be terrible. But at the same time, I think that there are drag, another country queen popped up and said, well, we do 3 brunches every Saturday. The first one is kid friendly, and we only do kid friendly numbers.
Hmm.
The second 2 are anything goes. So if you've got your kids in there, they're going to be exposed to something, and you might want to get. When I perform at Pride festivals, because I'm a nightclub entertainer with a dirty act,
Hmm.
I tell the MC to say, Bunny, what to say, audience? Bunny, I'm just talking to myself here.
Don't.
People get crazy. You're like, I know. So I tell the MC to say, hey, this next act is from New York City. And, in our quest for inclusion and diversity, this bitch has a foul mouth. She's from New York City. If you do have kids, then, if you might even be triggered, because my act is a little much for some adult, even gay, then go get a corn dog for the next 20 minutes. And then
Mhm.
I at least feel like I've got, because I like to perform dirty material. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to spring it on anyone. And so when we look at stuff like this, I mean, I'm not a parent. I don't know all the answers, to this kind of stuff. But let me just give you one example. I really enjoyed Anitra
Mhm.
on this last season of Drag Race. I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw the first episode. And when she came out, and a very talented performer, she does a number that's My Pussy is Burning.
Yeah, the
Well,
duck.
it gave me a giggle. And that's the kind of stuff drag queens do. And that's the reason I like drag,
Yeah.
because it is gay. But is that right for kids? I don't know. I don't have kids. I'm not even right for adults, but I just want to ask there was another thing, and I'll shut up after this, but there was another thing with one of the touring companies that had said on their ticket link that it had adult content, but
Mhm.
that kids were welcome.
Okay.
Okay, well, so that means you decide on, for your kids, which is as it should be, because, I don't think that any of these drag queen story hours are mandatory in schools, if I'm wrong about that. So if you're the kind of parent that wants your kids to see drag, you take them. If
Mhm.
not, you don't.
Don't take them.
Why do you need to ban stuff? So anyway, I'll shut up now.
No worries, no worries. Well,
Okay,
is don't bring
I'm
the
just gonna get into go ahead. I'm just gonna get into the weeds a little bit
yeah.
and talk about it from viewpoints.
Mhm.
And I think that sometimes we're not really making sense. And
Mhm.
I talk to everybody. I talk to drivers, cab drivers, in New York City, cab drivers in Alabama,
Yeah.
and it's interesting for me to get their viewpoints. So I think, listen, you never thought you'd heard this be said. I think Lady Bunny has a somewhat balanced view on this. That doesn't mean I'm in between the left and the right. No, I'm not known for my balance. So with these wigs on, it's not easy. But can you get the whole thing? Okay. So anyway,
Barely.
so yes, go right ahead.
Well, is Don't Bring the Kids a brand new production of yours, or is this one you've done before?
It's mostly new.
Okay.
I never perform in New York because I'm on the road, so
Okay.
it's mostly new. I do have a few crowd pleasers in there just in case the new stuff sucks. But here's the actual irony. It's called Don't Bring the Kids. There's plenty of dirty stuff, but I'm actually using this as an opportunity to develop some stuff that is not as
Mm.
sick and
Okay.
is not as dirty, which would serve me it would make me more comfortable at Pride event. You know what? Someone booked me in Roanoke, Virginia years ago to do their gay pride, and I was singing I'm not a girl, not yet a woman,
Okay.
with a large dildo hanging from my crotch. And there was a guy, a young a dad with his little girl on his shoulders in the front row. Someone took a picture, and it looked like that dildo was inches from her mouth.
Oh my
Now,
God.
I'm not trying to corrupt children, but I felt bad about that. So maybe if I had some more, that's not the whole show, but that's part
Mm.
of the show because they booked me and said no cursing, and I said, what do you mean? That's my whole act. So, even an old bitch can try to change with the times,
Uh,
or just have some, because even when my stuff isn't dirty,
mhm.
it can be quite twisted. So,
That's just the kind of entertainer you are, and we love it. We love that.
oh, I'm whatever.
Well, so this is your first time performing at the Green Room 42?
Yes, and it is beautiful. It's in Times Square, so I'm bringing the trash back to Times Square. Also, fuck you, Disney. um, and I am also I'm just glad to be performing in New York because there's nothing like New York audiences. The tickets are selling well, and we may extend if that keeps up.
Yeah.
And it's got great sound,
Mhm.
and it's not it's very roomy for those who are concerned about social distancing. I mean, it's almost roomy enough to where they were had social distancing in effect,
Okay,
social
cool.
distancing precautions in
Mhm.
effect, because us older ones are we're candidates for severe COVID outcomes.
Yes, yes.
I almost didn't take my mask off for this interview. My mom was a nurse, honey, so you
Gotta be
know.
careful. Gotta be
I
careful.
just got my booster. I just got my because
Right.
even nobody got the boosters. Like 20% of Americans got the latest bivalent booster.
Mhm.
I'm like, what's up? Do y'all still believe the science? Because they said we're supposed to get one back in September, and another
Mhm.
one now. But I think people have kind of just started to say whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree. Yes. Well, Bunny, you have been in the drag entertainment business for like a billion years now. What do you always enjoy the most about performing live?
Well, obviously, just the connection of the audience.
Mhm.
I've COVID was a dark time, and I love that the queens went all out to do their little shows online for tips, Facebook Live and whatnot. But when you do comedy and there's no audience,
It can be a little difficult.
it's tragedy. So I still do love performing live, and since the show's every Tuesday,
Mhm.
um, it new stuff, dirty or not. So.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Would you say that the audience connection is what keeps you inspired and motivated?
no, that's the money.
Oh, the money. Okay.
The audience is money. You
Money.
asked me.
Yeah,
You
give me the
asked
truth.
me.
I want the truth. Yes.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to put it that harshly, but let me put it.
Money's what keeps you
Well,
motivated.
hey,
And you have a very, like you were talking before, you have a very political voice. Have you always been outspoken on these subjects, or is this something born of necessity due to the current political situation?
well, throughout my youth, I was a mess. So my father was very political, and it didn't interest me. In fact, we had to skip watching the Brady Bunch because of the Watergate hearings, and I said, "This is a male thing. This is his thing. I don't want to be involved in politics." And I really did not get involved in politics until 9/11.
Okay.
Was kind of like a wake up call. What's going on here?
Mhm.
And I've been pretty political since then. And I'm not the smartest, but I am brave. And if something hits me one way, I will I will speak about it. I mean, so many times we're being asked not to ask questions, but if you're someone like me, that makes you want to ask them.
Yeah, always ask questions.
Ask more. If so, because somebody said the truth doesn't mind questions.
Mhm,
A lie doesn't want to be questioned because you're going to find something out. So I think I've never voted for a Republican in my life, and I won't do that
mhm,
because they don't represent my values. But
mhm,
I'm also disenchanted with Democrats, and I think that it is a very strange move to um, not have debates.
okay.
Because Biden I think it's within the Democratic Party's right to do that, but I don't think a lot of people don't want him to run,
Mhm,
and I'm one of them. I mean, RFK Jr., who is dismissed as an anti-vaxxer, even though I'm pretty sure both of his kids are vaccinated for COVID. And Marianne Williamson, who, like RFK, has no experience, are running. They've announced their candidacies. We don't know what else is going to happen, but that's he, together. That's almost 30%.
mhm.
If that many Democrats are interested in hearing what other Democrats have to say, I don't think it's fair to keep them out.
Yeah, agree.
Let's
Definitely.
have a debate.
Yeah, definitely, totally. So, will you also have some of your song parodies in, your show, Don't Bring the Kids?
Yes, I think I can have the technology to try out a little one, because did you know that I don't know how that's going to work with the recording, but I'm sorry. I hate being this reminds me of Facebook Live because everyone was always typing with the
Mhm.
comments, but that's this really, I didn't do any drag shows on Facebook Live because it was I didn't want people to see me putting my reading glasses on trying to look at some comments. Okay, here we go. Oh, well, hello, darling Lala. Meet my son, darling Lala. Be nice to him, cause he is nice and young. That's all. You didn't know I did a Carol chant. Look out, Pandora Box. You're not the, what you thought that was the Harvey Fierstein impersonation? That was Carol.
There's Carol Channing. Love it,
Oh,
love it.
did I turn it? Oh, I turned it off. I'm sorry. So that's just one little thing. Where is it? Oh, Jesus. Okay, there we go. Oh, stop it. Now we got two versions going. Okay.
There we
Hopefully the
go,
show will be better than this.
This is a test run, yes. Well, Bunny,
Oh, yeah. Dress rehearsal.
so
I'm just glad I have a broken foot and a boot because then I don't have an excuse. Usually I have to make an excuse why I can't dance.
Mhm.
No excuses
No
needed.
excuses time. For the
And
last
there's other good things about having a boot because, you know, the weather's warmed up and
Mhm.
love is in the air. And these men are giving me the eye like they have not given me the eye. And I'm like, what is it? It's like, she can't get away. let me hit on her. She can't get away. What? I mean, so there's benefits to everything. I'm like, what makes you so sure I want to get away?
Only time will tell.
Go ahead.
No worries. So the last couple times I interviewed you, you talked about writing a book. Have you started that yet?
No, I
No.
haven't. No, I have not. I would love to. I have two ideas, but no, I haven't.
Okay, work in progress.
I'm
Okay.
one half of America. One half of Americans do not read one book per year.
Hmm.
I'm not in. I'm not in the good half. Read. I mean, I read magazines and news articles and online stuff.
Yes. Well, what are some other future goals you hope to accomplish with your career and platform?
Well, I am in a movie coming out at the Tribeca Film Festival called Playland,
Mhm,
which is a recreation of a legendary Boston gay, queer, whatever we're saying these days,
mhm.
um, club. And I play a character that's a nod to a famous Boston drag named Sylvia Sidney, and it's not like I'm not playing her exactly, but it's like a nod to
Okay.
her. It's an all queer production with Danielle from Pose and all queer, you know, stuff. It's an art movie. I mean, I don't think that there's. I mean, it's not your latest rom com. There's maybe 10 lines of dialogue
Okay.
in the thing, but it's a triumph of set design and styling. My main costume was made by someone that's done costumes for Beyonce.
Oh, hey.
So, so at any rate, it's going to debut at the Tribeca Film Festival. It may never be a major motion picture release in theaters, but it was fun for me because I was not playing Lady Bunny. Like there was no wig,
Okay.
there was makeup to make me look older, which I hated. But it was fun for me, and I also had to lip sync to a song in German, which was
Oh,
really not that not that interesting, not that easy. It was not that easy.
yeah, I
So,
bet. Wow. Okay, perfect.
because you
Fantastic.
don't know what it means, so when you're learning a lip sync song, you usually like catch on to the
Yeah.
main lyrics, but there ain't nothing it's just all sounds. So somebody said they saw it and said, "Does Bunny sing opera?" And I was like, "Whew, I fooled one person."
I have one person. Lovely.
It's also going to the Provincetown Film Festival, San Francisco Film Festival, and so it's just being released. But it was one of my favorite things to do. We shot it during COVID, and the set was very safe and testing and mask and all that. But it was a great group of people, and I can't wait to see how it turned out.
Good, good. Awesome. All right, Bunny. Well, how can one stay up to date with you?
At Lady Bunny 77 at Instagram.
Okay.
And Twitter is also, no, it's not. That's Twitter. At Lady Bunny 77 at Twitter, which is much more political than
Okay.
Instagram, official underscore lady uh, underscore bunny. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
We'll double check on that.
Yeah, yeah. Real
Well, well then,
terminology.
before we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you'd like to mention or plug at this time?
Let's see. Where am I going to be? I'm going to be in the Hamptons performing
Okay.
next weekend in Minneapolis with Flip Phone events on let me look. I should have had this info ready. I'm gonna be a bunch of places. Pensacola Gay Pride,
Be everywhere.
DJing at Come On Everybody. And child, she's all over the place this summer. Going on tour in England
Okay.
and Scotland in July, and also over to Amsterdam. So, honey, she's international now, honey.
National, yes. Okay, fantastic.